You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You know, it's Monday, so that means we look at the games in the week, sponsored by FanDuel and SEC Lines, leans and locks, and all of that good stuff. We'll talk about all of that. It should be a lot of fun and what should be an absolutely epic weekend if the lines of the bigger games are any indication. So we'll see exactly what it looks like. Then this week 5 line, there's 8 games around the Southeastern Conference. First of all, Notre Dame is road favorites by 6.5 points at Arkansas. That is the 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central game on ABC. It's the first time Notre Dame has ever gone to Fayetteville. It's a game that, honestly, Arkansas needs to get right. They went into the Ole Miss game with all the vibes, every one of them. They had every vibe. They lost a fumble in that game. Ole Miss ended up winning it. Then they went on the road to the Memphis Tigers, and lo and behold, the same dang thing happened. And so Arkansas feels very much cursed right now. But this game, Notre Dame gave up 30 points to Purdue. This could be a complete shootout, but Arkansas's defense, it scares me. It honestly does. Utah State is at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's favored by 22.5 points. I think I saw on Twitter that they have played 4 games and punted 5 times. And over the course of those games, it's not all technically cupcakes. There's a dominating win over South Carolina. You blew out Virginia Tech on their field. I mean, other than Georgia State and their random 1AA beatdown, Vandy's been very good, but favored by 22.5 points. I kind of like that line. Vandy's a good team. They're going to be 5-0 if they win this game, heading to Tuscaloosa. And Tuscaloosa right after Alabama plays Georgia. I'm telling you, that could be a real upset. Auburn is at Texas A&M. The Aggies are favored by 7.5, a little bit more than a touchdown. The game is Saturday on ESPN at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Listen, Auburn got jobbed against Oklahoma. They did. There's no way to get around that. They got absolutely jobbed. You are going to have a difficult time with Ole Miss fans trying to get them to feel sorry for Auburn for getting jobbed, because whenever you have the kick six or the prayer at Jordan Hare or all of these voodoo things that have happened over the years, it does have to even out a little bit. And missing a player and allowing them to score a trick play touchdown, that kind of fits that bill as well. But A&M's favored by 7.5 points. They threw the ball pretty well. They had a bye week last week, but the week before, they took down the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. LSU is at Ole Miss, is at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. Ole Miss is favored by 1.5 points. This is going to be the game we talk about all over the week. It should be pretty interesting to see exactly how it rolls. But Ole Miss right now, they're really clicking. You know how I feel about both of the quarterbacks at Ole Miss, and I really like the matchup that Ole Miss would have with Trinidad Chambliss, but we'll see exactly how that plays out. The other upset game of the week, and it's probably the biggest line of the week, not counting UMass being 42.5 point underdogs, but Mississippi State's 11.5 point underdog to Tennessee. They're playing in Starkville. Mississippi State's 4-0. Jeff Lebby kind of has it going in Starkville at the moment. I called that Mississippi State was going to beat Tennessee before the season. They scored 25 points or something like that against Tennessee last year with a true freshman quarterback. I don't know. I feel Mississippi mayhem coming up. You remember the Sports Illustrated photo from 2014 to where Ole Miss and State had big wins in the same weekend? I kind of feel that right now. So we'll see exactly how that goes. The game that got SEC Nation is the Georgia Bulldogs, who is favored by 3.5 points over the Alabama Crimson Tide. Game's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. It's not quite a pick 'em. The home field difference in that game. The game is in Athens, Georgia. Alabama, though, kind of just has some voodoo. on the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but they've got some voodoo right now. But we'll see how that goes as well. Missouri, huge line against the UMass Minutemen, 42.5-point favorites. Game's going to be on ESPNU. There's no SEC Network Plus games this week because there's only 8 games. And then you have Kentucky at South Carolina. The Gamecocks are a 5.5-point favorite. Game is 7:45 on the SEC Network. Those are the 8 games this week. Now, I really like Ole Miss. I like Mississippi State. That's kind of where I'm leaning right now. And the lock of the day, in my opinion, is Texas A&M covering that 7.5. After what happened to Auburn at Oklahoma, there's no way they don't lay an egg against Texas A&M. DJ Durkin and all those guys, they had a good plan. But, yeah, I think that Auburn is going to struggle against the Texas A&M Aggies. So we'll see exactly how that works. Anyway, thank you so much for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your go-to source for Ole Miss sports. We pride ourselves in offering the most comprehensive perspectives, which is why we're the front door of Ole Miss. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the show, and it is completely free. Your support means the world to us. Also, in another big moment for Locked On, college football fans, Locked On and Fire TV are presenting College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. A college football preview show that only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Hotty-toddy, everybody, and remember, analytics is just the old English word meaning bad football. We'll see you tomorrow.